Hello, this is Dr. Mike, and this is a quick review of the Certified Hacking Forensics Investigator iLabs, which is being used for CIS 2808, Introduction to Computer Forensics. In your shell, you'll notice there'll be a iLabs information, there's a customer support link, speed test and system status. Please use those to verify if you can't connect for any reason. Also, you can check your speed to make sure that your network itself can support iLabs. These labs are web-based, not similar to previous labs we use, college-hosted net labs, but they have a couple things I want to show you that are a little different. So, actually, some tips. So first off, the objectives are laid out here, pretty much, and you guys next lab 1. So it'll be labeled for screenshots in lab 1 or lab 2 to take a screenshot of a certain step. A couple tips here, of course. There's a resources tab. You can go jump to a Windows 10, Ubuntu Forensics, and Ubuntu Suspect. There's a help thing here. You can go ahead and change your theme and look for a support request. Again, if you have issues with this, it's usually good to reach out to your professor with a note saying you had an issue, but always submit a support request directly to EC Council Skillable with the information here, iLabs, your data center you're being hosted from, and so on. This is going to be very helpful in if there's an ongoing issue. Again, always let your professor know. But in any case, I want to show you the steps here. And of course, you can see there is an overview of the lab itself and lab tasks. There's a checkbox you can do. And you can see here that matches the name here. And you actually can click on Control-Delete. And then instead of typing the password, you can actually click right here and it will fill it in for you. I like that. It does it only for the Windows systems. The Linux ones, you need to log in. And most of the time you always say yes to this. There's a little background. So what we have is a Windows server here. It is hosting out in now it's logged on the local disk here. It's CHFI tools. And there is evidence files. And there, of course, is a module for each lab. It'll tell you to go to that module. In this case, network forensics, and install certain specific tools. In this case, like we're doing Splunk, and so on. So you follow the steps here as you go through. You can check off the steps as you go. A couple of notes here, and this is beyond just the lab itself. I want to introduce some things with iLabs. First and foremost, one of the nice features is this right here, and the sandwich menu up here. You can save your lab. So let's say you've gone through, let's say you've set Splunk, you've gone through, you logged in, you imported the menu, and imported the log file. Let's say you're like here about step 25. You can click on the screenshot, you can get an idea about what you should be seeing. But let's say you need to stop for a little bit. So click on that there and you see it. You can actually save your lab and come back. Save it for up to a week. Also, when the lab time runs low here, it will prompt you. You can, I think 4 times you can get up to 10 or 15 minutes extended. So you can extend your lab session, I believe up to 4 times, and you can save your lab. So this is a great, right here, save lab. You want to use that whenever possible. A couple things too is you can also split this out if you have a separate monitor. And you can try to work with the lab window separately. For some reason, if you want to have them side by side like this. Nice little feature. And of course you can zoom in, zoom out. Maybe you want to make it easier to read the lab steps. That's what I like right there. It's hard to get this to change too much on size. Now there are some things here, of course. You can see your connection status, the system you're on. You can pin it or unpin it. This is and you can jump to different systems here. So I want to go Windows 10. Go back to Windows 16 here. Let me go and pin that open. And then I think gives you a little bit of real estate. If you're on a laptop, that might help you out because even this, a few pixels might expand. I've had where on my Mac laptop, for some reason the bottom menu is blocking a little bit of this. So a couple things here too is you can, it says full screen. Good luck with that. Full screen. Again, I'm running on this is a 5K display, so I think that's the best I'm going to get. Open a new window, reconnect. That's nice if you have issues. I've noticed where if I've saved a session and I've come back and I jump into Linux, the login screen gets sort of a weird, like it's jumping around, it doesn't look like it's correct, I use this to reconnect. Or you can do this here. You can power the machine on or off, reset it. So let's go and jump over to Ubuntu here. Let's see what happens. So again, this is fine here, but let's go ahead and save our session. Join Windows here. We'll save it. You can see it saves it for 7 days. Yes, save my lab. Close window. Lab 9, I believe. Still saving. So after it saves, you can relaunch it, and it'll pick up where you left off. I want to see if it does that same issue. There we go. So launch it. And it takes a couple minutes for it to load sometimes. Good time to go and get some drink or prep your lab itself. And while it's launching, I'm going to show you here, we have also the lab document. Let's see if it does it here. Oh, it seems to be working okay. All right, cool. So you can see I left off, and I'm right back where I left off again. I didn't install anything, but I'm still here where I currently was at open. Fantastic resource, great way to save where you're at. When it comes to the final for this course, I think I suggest you use the Windows Forensics lab, which I believe is lab 6. It has a 3-hour default window, and again, you can save it, and you can have the 4 extensions. That's going to give you plenty of time to work on the final, which for this class is going to be a scenario-based final. You have to install tools and use what you think you need to answer the questions or find evidence. I do want to point out there's some stuff here as you look at the instructions. I've found differences between this sometimes and the lab manual. The lab manual itself, this is lab 9. There could be times if you look at the lab manual, you see lab tasks. This should outline what you would see. And this is a great way to go and get ready for the lab. Before you want to launch it, I definitely suggest look over the lab manual. You can see the steps you might need to do. Take note of any software you're going to install. Everything is going to be installed for this class and ran in iLab, and usually from CHFI tools. All evidence files are going to be here for you to use. All tools you need that you need to be required to use will be available here. There is web access when you're on here. You'll go ahead and use this. There you go. So there's web access. But I will say this: you can't copy anything into this or copy anything out. You can copy something from here, though. If there's a piece of text you want to get from here, possibly, you can copy. Of course, this is a regular web page, so we can copy from here. So, but don't leave anything in here. No notes inside here. When this lab does expire, even if you save it and it expires after 7 days, it will be gone. It refreshes the lab, so just keep that in mind. So, and that's really it. So, again, when you're done, you can end your lab, and you can mark it as complete if you like, or you can cancel it. Either one's fine with me. For the course itself, currently I don't think I have anything I need to go and check if you completed the lab, so I'll hit cancel and close window. And that's it for the labs, and hopefully this was helpful and gives you some idea about the kind of lab environment you're going to use for introduction to computer forensics. Thank you.